Let's budget for June. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Kamika, and this is Well Balanced Wallet, where I help you create healthy money habits and live a life that you love on your current budget. Today, we are going to be taking a look at our June budget, and as always, if you want to follow along with me, I use a software called Ynab, and I'll have it linked in the description box below. Let's get started. So, before I zero out our buffer category and we get started budgeting, I just want to go through our budget and see what money we have left over for May and what I want to do with that money first. So, as we see here, our electricity was already paid and we have $57.06 left. So I'm going to zero that out. And for gas, we have $57 left. I think I'm going to leave the gas. We have $6 left for water bill, so I'm going to zero that one out. And just looking down the line, let's zero out the entertainment and the spur of the moment. We have $28 there. And that's it. So we have $110.92 that was left over from our categories in May. So what I want to do now is add this money to our debt snowball category. So we're going to add $110.92. All right, that is done. Now we can budget for June. So I'm just going to zero out our buffer category. I've stated before, but we spend $3,500 every month and we live on last month's income. So I save the money here in our buffer category, and on budget day, I just zero it out, and that brings the $3,500 here to be budgeted, and we just go down the line and budget. So our phone bill last month, it says that we spent $103 and 93 cents, but $25 of that money was for my brother. He sends me money to pay for his portion of the phone bill. So he hasn't sent it yet this month, so I'm just going to put in the average amount that we usually budget, which is $80.11, and that should cover the phone bill for my husband and myself. And then my brother will send his $25 when he gets a chance. So next is the internet, and our average budget is $101.25, and last month we spent $91.32. So I think I'm going to play it safe and do the 101.25. Okay, for electricity, our average budgeted is $178, and we spent $122 last month. So it's getting warmer outside, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the amount that we budgeted last month, which was $180, and then if I need to move that money at the end of June, I can do that like you just saw me do for May. So we did $180 for that. Gas, I like to do $150 for the month. So since we already have $57 there, I'll just do $100. That's cool. Okay, next is water, and our average budgeted is $55. And spent last month is $50, so we're gonna go with the $55 just to be safe. Car insurance is the same every month, so we'll do the $97.36. Life insurance is the same every month. We're not paying our student loans at the moment. I budgeted $25 here last month, but we ended up spending it for something else. But I'll just put it here again, just in case we want to take any fitness classes or anything that may cost a little bit of money. Apple Music, I'm still working on this category, trying to figure out what all comes out of here and why. So last month we spent $36.94, and honestly, probably $12 of that is Apple Music. So I just really need to pay attention this month and see what all we're paying for. We usually just put our subscriptions in here, so HBO Now and subscriptions like that, but I need to figure out how many subscriptions we have and if it may be worth it for us to just go back to cable if we have more subscriptions than necessary. So I'll put the $36 here. For the mortgage, we budget $12.87. And that covers our mortgage, which is $12.12, and then $75 towards the principal. For home maintenance and repairs, I usually just go ahead and put money here when we get paid. So that I put that money there before I add the money to our buffer. So that's why this is already funded for June. And if we have any additional money left over, then I will put more here. Groceries, we usually budget $330. We got very close last month. It was $328. So I'll just go ahead and do $330 again. Restaurants, we usually do $150, and we got very close again last month. So we need to just pay attention to that, but I'll do $150 here again. Okay, and then spending, you guys know the drill, 25 and 25. So as you can see, I haven't spent any money. I have $61 in my category, and then my husband had $10 left over from May, so he has $35 now. Okay, household goods. It says last month that we spent $202, and I'm pretty sure we did, but I don't know what we bought. So I think I'm just going to do 100 here for now. Same with the miscellaneous. I'll do 100 here. For entertainment, we had some left over from last month, so I think I will do 50 here. No, let's do 100, and then for a spur of the moment, I'll do 50. Okay, and then I'm doing a challenge where we'll have $1,340 at the end. So for June, we need $79. So I'll put that here, and then I will edit this note to indicate that we have put this $79 in. Okay, so that's done. Christmas accounts, we get paid, let's see, twice in June, so that'll be $40 going to the Christmas account. New car, so I put money here when we get paid as well before I put money in the buffer category, so that's why that's already funded a little bit, and we'll come back to that. Trips, I am going to a conference towards the middle of June, but it's pretty close to my area, so I don't have to get a hotel or anything, but I do want to make sure I have some money for food or anything that I need while I'm there. So let's do $75 here. And for medical, you guys know that I like to keep $600 here, but in May we had a few things that we needed to pay for, and we also had to put a medical bill on our Care credit card, which means that our amount of debt went up just a little bit in May. So be sure to check out the Debt Snowball update next week to learn more about that and see what happened. So I only have $320 here, so that's not enough to get us to the 600. So let's do the whole $320 and 50 cents, just because. If I need to move any money around, I usually move it from other categories first before I'll touch anything with medical or with the car maintenance account or categories. So we'll just see what happens. And like I said, check out the debt snowball update coming up next week to see what happened and why we had to take on a little bit of medical debt. So now our to be budgeted is at 0, which means we are done. So I'm glad that you guys are loving these budget with me videos, and I'm very interested. Have you already budgeted for June? And if so, do you have any trips coming up or anything special that you had to budget for? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to see anything else with my budget, maybe me putting in transactions or moving money around, let me know that in the comments as well, and I can do a separate video for that. But that's it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and click the link on your screen right now for more Well Balanced Wallet content. See you there.